Right now, the final day of the state Democratic convention. What's next for the party as it enters a new era of leadership? Also, an overnight shooting in Middleton leaves several cases behind. All that we know so far. And our Tenacious Shaw brings us the story of one Madison family and their father and his journey to become one. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 5:30. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks and all of us here at News 3 Now want to wish you all a happy Father's Day. With that, let's go ahead and get a look at your certified most accurate forecast with the meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, is this weather putting a damper on our Father's Day festivities? What's going on?
Yeah, well, it is raining outside right now at the studio. We were anticipating those scattered showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder out west today. Certainly cloudier than Saturday. And we've got a couple more days of rain in the forecast. Radar 3000 showing those showers really extending from downtown Madison all the way back into the Mississippi River. And if we zoom on in, the heaviest shower activity is just outside of Lancaster and Dodgeville, right almost running parallel to 151 before it turns south and eastward into Platteville. This is going to continue to linger over the same area probably for the next hour or so. These are not fast-moving showers. Again, a rumble of thunder can't be ruled out. We're seeing some rain in Boscobel and Lone Rock up into Sauk City as well. We've got an isolated severe weather chance not only Monday, but Tuesday, and that continues into Wednesday as well. We'll break down all 3 days really and talk about what the threats are and the timing in the full forecast.
All right, sounds good, Blaze. We'll see you in just a bit. And you can track the forecast for yourself on the First Warn weather app. It has hourly planners, road conditions, and even radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. The second day of the state Democratic Party convention wrapped up just a few hours ago. And breaking news out of the meeting, Wisconsin Democrats chose a new leader. Political reporter Will Keneally is there and has the details.
Democrats wrapped up their convention here in the Dells, electing a new state party chair. Now that's the figurehead that Democrats hope will lead them to success in the 2026 midterm elections. And Democrats announced on Sunday it will be Devin Remacher to take the helm of the state party. He previously managed the day-to-day operations as the party's executive director, and he received the endorsement of outgoing state party chair Ben Wickler.
I had a very clear sense of who I thought would do an outstanding job as the state party chair, and I owed it to the party and to the delegates to share what I'd seen.
We asked Remacher about his priorities in the new position.
I think we're going to roll up our sleeves and really make sure that we are capturing all the energy that is out there at this moment in time so that we can harness it and point it like a laser at all the elections we need to win in 2026.
Reporting in the Wisconsin Dells, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Will, thank you. Middleton police are investigating a shots fired incident from Sunday morning. Officers were called to the area of South Avenue and Maple Street just before 1:30 a.m., where residents reported hearing 6 gunshots in the area. Multiple expended cases were found laying in the intersection. A house nearby had a damaged window. Middleton police say one witness heard a car idling in the area beforehand, and they said it drove off southwest on Maple Street after the gunshots. And one person is displaced following a fire on Madison's north side Saturday afternoon. The Madison Fire Department responded to a multi-unit complex on Maplewood Lane for smoke reported in the hallway. Crews arrived just after 3:30 to find smoke coming from the second floor. MFD reported a knockdown was achieved just before 4 p.m. Paramedics evaluated and took one person for minor fire-related injuries to the hospital. Unfortunately, 2 cats died in the fire. The cause of the fire is under investigation. River Alliance of Wisconsin brings out boaters to cruise down Madison's Yahara River for the annual Fools' Flotilla. The floating parade takes attendees from Tenney Park to Yahara Place Park to join in on the Marquette Neighborhood Association's Waterfront Festival. Costumes were encouraged and boaters were treated to live music as they paddled down the river. Coming up next on News 3 Now, drones are helping police in Wisconsin get a look at scenes before officers arrive. Plus, the search for the man who killed and wounded multiple Minnesota lawmakers continues.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
Thank you for staying with us. A new program is helping one Wisconsin police department get a look at scenes before responding as officers arrive. Emily Matasic shows us how police in Grand Chute are putting cutting-edge drones to use.
Drones have been a tool used by law enforcement for years, but the Grand Chute Police Department is taking it to the next level. The department launching a DFR, or Drone as a First Responder program, the first of its kind in the state.
The primary focus of the DFR program is to respond quicker to police calls for service, provide actionable intelligence for responding officers, improve the efficiency of our operations, and reduce overall cost.
As the department demonstrated, once a call comes in, an address can be entered into the software, and the drone is launched from outside the police department within minutes.
You will see the drone start and take off.
The licensed pilot responsible for tracking the drone on its way to a scene.
So what my main job here while it's flying is to look for obstructions. I can always stop this flight and take over control.
The autonomous drone, programmed to take a direct route to a destination, can arrive on scene even before the first squad car pulls up. The technology linked to in-squad computers and phones, transmitting real-time information.
They can literally watch the live stream of what's occurring before they arrive. And so the officers understand what is occurring, and they can also understand what's not occurring.
Hovering at 200 feet, the drone's view can be a time saver in critical situations. The technology allowing the department to cover a vast area in a short amount of time.
We also used it recently for a vehicle that took off from officers. The driver bailed out of the vehicle and headed into a wooded area. We used the thermal camera in order to quickly locate that individual, and within minutes, he was in custody, something that would have taken hours of traditional foot search for officers to locate.
The department calling the technology a game changer.
It's making police work easier and safer. That's the biggest thing why we even explored this program, was safety of the community, safety of us. The nature of our job is not totally knowing what we're going into. This sometimes eliminates that, where you can get eyes on the scene before you even get there, and that takes a lot of unknowns out.
As part of a pilot program with the drone company, the police department got a discount on the drone system. Also this Father's Day down in Janesville, car enthusiasts celebrated automotive history at the 4th annual Father's Day car show. With a wide array of makes and models, dads and their families were able to check out cars that go back nearly 100 years. A church on Madison's north side is having a celebration to show appreciation for dads today. Our Tanisha Shaw is taking us to Cultivation Church, where a dad is using his fatherhood experience to preach today.
Your heart doesn't know how much love it can contain, or the capacity for love, until you hold your baby or your child for the first time, and you just realize that love, it grows exponentially with your kids.
Brandon Manglos is a father of 2. He's an ordained minister that doesn't preach often, but on Father's Day, he's guaranteed to be at the front of the pulpit.
I'm speaking today for Father's Day, which is a great honor for me.
His journey to fatherhood is unique and came with difficulty.
My wife and I couldn't have children, and we tried many times, and we lost one actually in process, which was very painful. And at that point, we decided to adopt. And so we adopted from Guatemala, first our daughter, amazing little girl, just the cutest little thing. And then 5 years later, she wanted a baby brother in the worst way.
Manglo serves for the military, and deployment took away precious family time.
Being in National Guard and being gone quite a bit, and a couple deployments and those things really stressed our family a little bit. And so at some times it makes the family unit stronger, but at other times it really challenges those relationships and causes growth in a different way.
Through it all, he says he's appreciative of his parenthood journey and is glad that he can be a dad not only to his 2 kids and his grandson, but the entire community.
Preaching on Father's Day is a great opportunity to share the responsibility we have as fathers to reflect God's love to people. And I think sometimes that's overlooked. And it's a great responsibility for me to be a father, not only to my kids, but every kid I come in contact with.
Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanisha, thank you. Cultivation Church is also hosting a Father's Day barbecue right now until 7. Hackers have tried to break into the email accounts of a select number of Washington Post journalists, according to an internal Washington Post memo. The Post discovered the possible targeted hack of its email system last Thursday, prompting the newspaper to reset login credentials for all of its employees. It was not immediately clear who was responsible for the hack. The Wall Street Journal first reported on the hack itself. The journal itself was the subject of a multi-year hacking campaign by suspected Chinese hackers, which the paper discovered in 2022. the espionage effort that targeted journalists reporting on China-related issues. The manhunt for a man suspected of killing a Democratic lawmaker and her husband is ongoing in Minnesota. As CBS's Cristian Benavides reports, police found a list of other possible targets in his vehicle, including abortion rights advocates and abortion facilities.
The search continues for 57-year-old Vance Luther Bolter. SWAT vehicles along with an ATV arrived on scene Sunday near the area where police recovered the suspect's vehicle. This image captured Bolter just hours after 4 people were shot, including 2 state lawmakers. Minnesota House Leader, Democrat Melissa Hortman, and her husband Mark were killed in the early Saturday shootings, and Senator John Hoffman and his wife were wounded. Both couples were shot in their homes. U.S. Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar was a close friend of Hortman and had dined with her the night before the shooting.
At that dinner, it was a big political dinner. Everyone was rejoicing, happy, the session's behind them. And that was the last time so many of us saw Melissa and Mark. And the next morning, 5 a.m., the Governor Walz, calls me and tells me that we believe that she's no longer with us.
Hoffman and his wife are seriously wounded. They're recovering in the hospital. As of Saturday night, Yvette Hoffman was reportedly awake and alert. Police say the suspect wore a mask and posed as a police officer. He is known to Minnesota politics, appointed twice to the Governor's Workforce Development Commission, most recently by Governor Tim Walz. His political leanings at the time of the shootings are unclear.
Did you think he had any extreme views about anything?
No, he never talked to extreme views.
At the White House, President Trump condemned the shootings.
Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. And they're looking for that particular man right now.
Police confronted the suspect at Hortman's home early Saturday. They exchanged gunfire. He retreated into the house and escaped on foot. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
Something we'll definitely keep an eye on in the coming days. But coming up next on News 3 Now at 5:30, meteorologist Blaze Keller returns with a complete look of your first warn forecast.
We're going to continue to track the chance for showers and thunderstorms as we move over the next couple of days. Near daily chances for an isolated severe thunderstorm Monday through Wednesday as a low pressure system develops off into southern parts of the plains and then eventually moves through the Midwest Tuesday night through Wednesday. Some sunshine on Monday with a few thunderstorms by the late afternoon, early evening, and then by next weekend, we may be slipping into those low 90s. So let's take a look at that severe weather outlook on Monday. The green is a marginal risk, which essentially means an isolated chance for 1 or 2 severe thunderstorms. Storms are likely going to develop off into parts of Minnesota, up near the cities, and then as we go throughout the rest of Monday into Tuesday morning, that's when we could see some of those showers and thunderstorms move into northwestern parts of our coverage area. Overnight showers and thunderstorms will die off as we head into the late morning hours on Monday. Southerly winds take on over. Partly sunny conditions throughout Monday. We're getting the atmosphere ready for potentially some severe weather with these showers and thunderstorms coming out of northwestern Wisconsin. Again, they'll be weakening as we go throughout Monday evening, overnight into Tuesday. Tuesday, the severe weather threat really holds off until later parts of the day. We're going to be watching where that warm front, how far north it goes, because that's going to be where we'll likely see some severe thunderstorms. Again, a marginal risk, so an isolated chance for a severe thunderstorm or 2. Much like Monday, Tuesday is going to be quieter to start, and then hear those showers and thunderstorms developing as we head into the late afternoon, early evening along that warm front. If that warm front lifts further north, say into more of central Wisconsin, more of the energy is moving north with it too, fueling the potential for these severe thunderstorms. Strong winds as well as hail are going to be our main threats Monday through Wednesday, but also some heavy rains as well, because wherever that warm front settles, that's where those showers and thunderstorms are going to develop and rain themselves out over time. So we're going to be watching carefully, especially Tuesday into Wednesday, to see how far north that low pressure system develops. But here's a look at all of our rain that we could pick up over the next 7 to 10 days. Anybody in the purple, that's anywhere between 1.5 to 2 inches of additional rainfall. We're continuing to see that southerly trend. So that low pressure system develops out into parts of Iowa on Tuesday and then moves its way north and eastward as we go overnight into Wednesday. We'll flirt with the 90s on Tuesday, but we have the best chance for the 90s as we go into the upcoming weekend and the start of our following work week. Until then, hanging out in the low to mid 80s. We'll keep that alert day on Wednesday. We may issue an alert day on Tuesday as well, especially Tuesday night into Wednesday. Showers and thunderstorms will continue to be hit or miss on Thursday and Friday. Because we're going to be so hot, we likely won't see any showers and thunderstorms next weekend, and then we'll start to cool on down by the middle of our following work week.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the few rain chances here and there, I like those temps for the most part.
Well, good, because I am not changing them. So I hope you enjoy them.
I mean, speaking of enjoying it, it is Father's Day. And what's better than Father's Day in America's pastime?
Yeah, I would say that you really couldn't find a better combination than baseball at Father's Day. And coming up in sports, the Brewers try to win their series against the Cardinals. Could they make some Father's Day magic? Next on News 3 Now. There is just something special about putting up big performances for his parents that is in Christian Yelich's blood. Back on Mother's Day, he hit a home run with a bat that had his mom's name inscribed into it. And today, on Father's Day, the Brewers superstar put one out of the yard for Pops. Trailing 1-0 in the fourth, Yelich hits a homer the other way to draw things even at 1 apiece, but the crew was not done in the frame. Later on, with runners on first and second, Drew Avens, the young guy, drives one deep enough to score Rhys Hoskins on a sacrifice fly, giving the Brew Crew a lead that they would never give back to the Cardinals. Milwaukee wins the series finale and the series, 3-2 the final score, and they'll get a much-needed day off tomorrow. Heading up to Wausau, where the Madison Nightmares try to keep their perfect 3-0 record alive. Tied at 2 in the third, and Reagan Bennett blasts a 3-run homer to put the Nightmares ahead. This one was a barn burner. Hillary Blomberg also boomed her 4th homer of the year in the team's 4th game of the season. But the team's dream start to the year came to an end. Wausau wins a back-and-forth thriller, 9-8 the final score. And to the Duck Pond we go, where the Madison Mallards are off to quite the dream start to their own season. Last check, the 11-5 Ducks are leading the Chinooks 3-1. Well, the Packers have a lot of depth at the wide receiver position this year, but in free agency, they addressed a different problem, experience in that wide receiver room, and that's why they went out and signed a 2-time Super Bowl champion in Mecole Hardman. The speedster won 2 titles with the Chiefs and, of course, caught the game-winning touchdown in the 2023 edition of the Super Bowl. For Hardman, the decision was simple. He just loves what the quarterback position looks like in Green Bay.
Jordan, he's an awesome guy on and off the field. I think he's one of those guys that's going to, be one of the, best quarterbacks in the league for time to come. I think he get better every day, and as players, we learn different things. And I think that he's taking that next step, just from, outside looking in and not actually being, on the same team with him. I think he's taking that role of being that leader and leading this team to the best of his ability.
And Jalen, for years, there was always the story of star players would only come to Green Bay because of Aaron Rodgers. And I wouldn't necessarily call Mecole Hardman a star, but has great experience that the Packers could use. And Jordan Love is proving that old theory wrong because people want to come play with him. And why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, even last offseason when they signed both Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney, both of them cited the fact that Jordan Love took such a huge step in 2023. I mean, why not come play with one of the up-and-comers of the NFL? But I think it's awesome that even though Mecole may not necessarily be the guy in the wide receiver room, again, that experience that you talked about and the fact that he's a Super Bowl champion, let's bring some of that winning pedigree back to Green Bay.
Yeah, adding guys like him and Matthew Golden are going to go a long ways to helping others like Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, you name it, going ahead.
I mean, they've got a track team.
They really do.
Wide receiver room. All right, sounds good. Thank you, Andrew. Blaze returns with the final check of your first one forecast when we return. All right, Blaze, what should we expect as we close out Father's Day weekend?
Partly sunny conditions tomorrow, back into the 80s with a chance for showers and thunderstorms further to the north and west. And we'll continue to keep that shower chance and thunderstorm chance through at least Thursday of this week. Mid 80s on Tuesday, possibly the low 90s by next weekend when we will be sunny but hot.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze, and thank you, Andrew. We'll see you back here for News 2 Now at 10. Up next is 60 Minutes, and we're always streaming